connected. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Daniel Gilford, who's a climate scientist with Climate Central, to talk about the upcoming Atlantic hurricane season and how climate plays a role. Dr. Gilford, thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me, Dan.
The Red Cross is responding to nearly twice as many large disasters as it did a decade ago. In 2023 alone, the U.S. experienced an all time high $28 billion plus disasters, ravaged communities, and forced hundreds of thousands of people to flee from storms, floods, and wildfires, including hurricanes. Now, when it comes to the big picture regarding hurricanes and other tropical weather, how does a changing climate play a role?
Yeah, so as we look around our environment, the thing that humans have been doing for the last 150 years or so is burning things, emitting greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. And what these gases do is they trap heat on our planet. A lot like pulling a warm blanket around yourself, it traps the body heat in around your body and helps your body warm up. The planet has an increased blanket effect from these carbon dioxide, methane, and other greenhouse gases that warm the planet overall. What this means in the tropics is that it's getting warmer. That excess heat that we have that we wouldn't have had without climate change needs to go somewhere. So it goes into our atmosphere in form of the temperature of the atmosphere getting warmer, but the oceans are also getting warmer.
We've certainly seen our share of severe weather in New England over the past couple of years. We had Tropical Storm Irene a decade or so ago in Vermont. We've seen excessive rainfall events in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine over the past 12 months or so, and as well as that close call with Hurricane Lee. As the climate continues to warm, what sort of trends can we expect weather-wise across our country, and including parts of New England?
Yeah, these changes are ongoing. As long as we continue to burn fossil fuels and emit carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases to the atmosphere, we're going to be getting warmer and warmer temperatures in the atmosphere and the ocean, and it'll affect our climate system as we know it. And what that means is that we will have to adapt. We'll have to make changes here in the United States and elsewhere around the planet as we adapt to these changes. But what that also means is we can start to actually think about what our role in the climate system is. We've been thinking about it for a while, but we're starting to understand better sort of the fingerprints of the human systems on the climate that we live in. Over the last 40 years, we've seen an increase in the number of category 3 plus, that is major hurricanes that we've observed in the North Atlantic. And with those bigger storms, which are stronger, we have more potential for damages, which affects the coastal communities where we live.
The New England coast had a near miss with Hurricane Lee in 2023. It was the third fastest rapid intensification of a Category 5 hurricane in the Atlantic. How does a warming climate increase the likelihood of seeing these larger storms further up the eastern seaboard?
Well, we've definitely seen with warmer sea surface temperatures that storms are tending to rapidly intensify more often. So we're getting more intense storms that are sort of building faster than we would have seen in the past without climate change. We're also seeing that these storms, as the temperature of the atmosphere warms, the tropics expand, like I mentioned before. And that means that hurricanes can actually move further and further north. And regions like the New England coast that wouldn't have gotten very many historical hurricanes are seeing already just a small uptick in the number of storms that reach that region. We expect this to be a trend that continues over time with climate change. This hurricane season is a fantastic opportunity to think about how hurricanes might affect your region, but also start conversations with people as you're talking about these hurricanes and how best to prepare, what the role of climate change is in those hurricanes, and how they're affecting you, and how we can make decisions better going forward together.
Dr. Guilford, plenty of excellent information there. Thank you for your time and all you've had to talk about.
Thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate you having me.